J-Rock did this beat.
Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I can continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day, y'all. Subscribe wherever you may get your podcast. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, on iHeartRadio, on Spotify. Subscribe, especially on YouTube, because you are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. We got a good one today, y'all. I said we got a good one today, y'all. We are talking about the big game that's going on this evening. Big game is going on tonight at 9 o'clock on the SEC Network against the Arkansas Razorbacks. Big away game that we are playing a team in Arkansas who we are favored to win by quite a few points. But the key point about this basketball game is it's a different day. It's a different day, but it's still the same mission. It's the same mission. We have the best basketball team in the country. We have the best basketball team in the country. There's no doubt about it. There's no way to sugarcoat it. We are number one in the AP poll. We are number one in net ranking. We have the third best offensive rating. We have the number one defensive rating. We are tops in so many different metrics that is too many to mention. Too many to mention. So complacency happened, in my opinion, with the Gamecocks before this Kentucky game. Over those, previous three games, it seemed like we were a little tired. We were a little unfocused. It seemed like we're just trying to get through the regular season. And Coach Staley said herself, the team is mentally and physically fatigued. And we saw parts of that. We did. We saw parts of that. And despite still winning, despite winning multiple games handily, the team looked a little tired. Well, come this past Sunday, that same team came out on fire and lit up the Kentucky Wildcats. Lit them up. Playing the type of offense and defense that we're used to seeing as Gamecock fans, right? So we playing a team tonight that is obviously not as good as us, okay? Not as good offensively, not as good defensively, not as good in so many different ways. Arkansas is not making the tournament, okay? Arkansas probably get knocked out fairly early in the SEC tournament, which starts next week. But maintaining the consistency that the Gamecocks have had over the course of 27 basketball games, 14-0 in SEC play, is really key come tonight. Because what the Gamecocks can't do is revert back to some of those games where we know we're going to win because we can out-talent team. We out-talent this Arkansas team. We know we're going to win. We know we're going to win the basketball game. We're bigger, we're faster, we're stronger, we shoot better, we play better offense, we play better defense. I don't care if we're playing in the moon, on the moon. It doesn't matter where we play. We're going to beat Arkansas. There's no doubt about that. And that goes without saying. That ain't going to happen. Arkansas is not going to pull off some major upset and stop our winning streak in the SEC and stop our multiple game win streak. We only lost one game in the last 2 years. So that ain't going to happen tonight. But what you want with South Carolina in this basketball game is to continue this consistency that we saw on Sunday. What we saw on Sunday was a team that hasn't peaked yet. South Carolina hasn't peaked yet. We ain't peaked. And some teams some coaches, some teams that probably have been hoping that Carolina peaked, let's say 10 games ago. But the resume that Carolina has put on paper, put on tape, is for everyone to see. So you have a team that played on Sunday that dominated an SEC opponent from beginning to end. Everybody ate. We had 30 assists in that basketball game. 6 players in double figures. Everybody was that was some of the most prettiest basketball I've ever seen. Everybody sharing the ball, no one's selfish, passing the ball around, making shots, all those different things transpired in game on Sunday. But what was more awesome for me, being an old school type cat, was the defensive play that these ladies did. You talking about suffocating defense. You talking about, just old school. I'm going to guard. You're not going to get around me. I'm going to make you take tough shots. And we're going to do it from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. And everybody who played in the game is going to play tough, hard-nosed defense. That's what I want to see tonight. I want to see the same, a carbon copy of that defense tonight. That's what I want to see. I want to see that. Because I've mentioned before, the defense travels. Defense travels to whatever arena that we might go to, whatever situation that we are in. Defense travels. But I want to see that defense. That defense. Because obviously we're the number one defensive team in the country. But that defense that played on Sunday is some of the best defensive play I've ever seen in my life in women's basketball. I want that type of energy. I want that type of consistency. I want that type of communication in this game against an inferior opponent who's going to be shooting a whole bunch of threes in this ball game. You're going to see upwards of 35 three-pointers from Arkansas. That's what they do. Now, they're not a talented three-point shooting team. Don't get that twisted. But they're going to shoot it up a lot. So we have to communicate, run them off the line, make sure they're not getting open jumpers, and then light them up on the offensive end. When you have a team like Arkansas shooting so many three-pointers, you're going to have the opportunity for a ton of defensive rebounds. You are. So with the opportunity of defensive rebounds, also presents opportunity for us to get into our offense much quicker with the MiLaysia Fulwiley, with the Raven Johnson, with the te-hina pow. And different day today, Thursday night at 9:00 p.m., but it's the same mission. The same mission to get better every day, 1% better every day. That's the mantra. Those are the buzzwords that a lot of teams say in multiple team sports. But it's really true for South Carolina. It's really true for South Carolina because when you're so good at so many things, you still have to nitpick the things that you're not good at. You have to. Otherwise, you come to a basketball game like tonight, and you might be complacent. You might go through the motions. You might want to just go ahead and get to senior night on Sunday at 12:00 p.m. against Tennessee. You want to get to those things and then go on to get ready for the SEC tournament next week. But we had to stay locked in and beat down Arkansas tonight. Now, things are going to look a little different tonight because Kamilla Cardoso has been practicing the last couple of days, and she's going to play tonight. And she's been off for 11 days in terms of games played. She hasn't played in 11 days. And Kamilla Cardoso added to the mix, who I think is the best best overall player in the SEC. adds a dimension to this basketball team that we've quote unquote has been missing. But I kind of like pause for that because when Cardoso's in the game, the team offensively functions a little different. It functions a little different because you have a situation where the Gamecocks will force feed Cardoso the basketball. It always happened. It will happen as long as she's Gamecock because she's 6'7". So she's going to get force fed the basketball. But what I don't want to happen in this basketball game, in particular with Cardoso coming back after 11 days off, is some silly turnovers trying to get Cardoso going. I don't want to see bad turnovers from Raven or te-hina just saying, okay, yo, we bigger than you. We're going to get you the ball. Because Arkansas got a girl who's 6'4". They got a guard who's 6'2", who is like top 3, top 5 in the conference in offensive rebounding, and that's a weird stat in itself. Being that she's getting all these offensive rebounds because they're missing so many 3-pointers. So you gotta getting a lot of offensive rebounds, but come on, let's keep it real because you're missing a ton of 3-pointers because you're only shooting about 31% from the 3-point line. So there's a lot of opportunities for rebounds, which I think the Gamecocks going to gobble up in this basketball game with defensive rebounds. But I digress. About that. So the offense, and it's just me. I think the offense runs more free with Cardoso not in the starting lineup. I'm just saying. It just seems to me with my eyes that they run a more freewheeling offense where everybody shares the ball, everybody gets off, everybody continues to eat. With Cardoso in the game, she dominates the post, which is good. Because you have a weapon like Cardoso, you're going to utilize that weapon. I just got to see how the offense works with her being off for this amount of time, where you had a Sania Feagin who's been straight up balling with extended minutes. You know, you have a Chloe Kitts who's been balling, Ashley Watkins who's been balling, Sakima Walker who's improved her confidence. You know, I just got to see it. I want to see more of the freewheeling offense. Everybody shares, everybody eats. Now, not to say that we weren't doing that before when Kamilla Cardoso was in the game and averaging, 25, 27 minutes of basketball game and leading the SEC in overall metric of offensive rating and defensive rating. Not saying that whatsoever. The offense just looked different. With Kamilla Cardoso in the game multiple times this season, we were the number 1 offensive rating team in the country. Okay? I just want to see how she knocks the rust off. I want to see how the limit the turnovers. And with Kamilla Cardoso back, we return to the defensive, our defense just gets better. Our defense gets better because she's number 2 rated, defensive player in the conference, right behind Ashley Watkins. So when you have a Kamilla Cardoso returning in the starting lineup, you have the second best defensive player in the conference. Overall, you got a Chloe Kitts, who's the third best post player defensively on our team and one of the better post players defensively in the conference, starting together. And when you sub out Chloe for Ashley Watkins to match up with Kamilla Cardoso, to go along with the Raven Johnson, who is the best perimeter defender in the conference, who averages over 21 minutes. You have an elite defensive team. So Kamilla Cardoso brings so much to the table, so much offensively, so much defensively. She played 20 minutes a night. She getting a double-double. Well, you know that's going to happen. She getting a double-double. And she's going to play well. obviously, she's been working out. She ain't been sitting around twiddling her thumbs. She's been working out. So she wants to come back in and help her teammates. But we have to see. We got to see if there's any ruts. We got to see if there's a tendency. A tendency? No, that's the wrong. We got to see if there's a anxiousness. How about that word? Anxiousness for Kamilla Cardoso to show that I am the best player in the conference. Will she get into early foul trouble because she's trying so hard? We will see. At the end of the day, we are back to being 10 strong. 10 strong. And we've added back to the fold after 11 days the best player in the SEC. So the team that we saw on Sunday gets better tonight. That's sick. That is just sick. That's the team that we saw Sunday gets better tonight. Oh my God. I pity all the teams in the SEC. I pity y'all because we just got better. We gained more confidence with players who weren't playing as much as Sania Feagin and Sakima Walker because they know their roles and they know they can come in and play and ball. We got to find minutes for Sania Feagin. We have to find minutes for Sania Feagin and let the girl work offensively. She is special. She's special. The third thing that I want to watch for in this basketball game tonight is our Splash Sisters. Our Splash Sisters being unleashed on Arkansas. Arkansas does not defend the three well. The last time I checked, Arkansas was ranked about 253rd, 263rd in the country in terms of defending the three-point basket. Well, Arkansas, you don't defend the three well, and you're about to meet the number 2 ranked team in the country shooting the three-point basket, shooting 41%. You are about to feel the brunt of the Splash Sisters in your arena in front of all your fans. Because you have a te-hina Pow who's shooting 48% from the field and 49% from three. That's what you have with te-hina Pow. The best shooter in college basketball. Forget what you heard. Forget what you see. Forget what they tell you. te-hina Pow is the best shooter in college basketball. And you're about to see her. You're about to get a front row seat to see her. Make sure you're there early so you can see the practices, the warm-ups. Make sure you're there early. Make sure you're there early. But that's only part one. That's only part one. Because part two is Bree Hall. Part two is Bree Hall. And Breezy's averaging 47% from the field, 43% from three in 27 minutes. Okay? There's not a 35, 38 minutes in a basketball game. Breezy averaging 27 minutes. te-hina Pow is averaging 27 minutes. Those two are going to light y'all up. They're going to light y'all up. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to prepare y'all for what's going to happen to y'all. But those two are going to light y'all up. You don't defend the three well, and you got this dynamic situation that's arriving in your arena. Get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready. Because you're about to see what three-point shooting really is. Not volume. Not volume. Because y'all going to shoot a heap of them. Y'all going to shoot a heap of three-pointers. But I'm talking about quality threes that actually go in. But there's another part of that equation. It's a three-point equation. It's three sisters. Three of them. Three Splash Sisters. And the third one is the freshman from Minnesota, 25th ranked in the 2023 class, Tessa Johnson, who's getting about 14, 15 minutes a game, but she's shooting 44% from the field and 44% from the three-point line. Oh, there's a problem. There's a problem that is arising in Arkansas. It is. And that problem is the Splash Sisters. I don't know how many three-pointers you're going to shoot. You're going to shoot a whole lot of them. Out of those bunches of three-pointers that y'all shoot, I bet you we will have more made three-pointers than Arkansas, who would probably shoot twice as more three-pointers than we shoot. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that, because you are what you are. You're not a good defensive three-point shooting team. You allow so many. You allow 31%, and the Gamecocks shoot 41%. I'm just saying. The metrics to speak for themselves. So you got the Splash Sisters showing up, and they're going to show out. You got the return of Kamilla Cardoso, who has a point to prove, because some folks are saying that Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow and Rakia Jackson is the best that the SEC has to offer. Well, Kamilla Cardoso is about to state claim tonight who she is, and you're going to put some respect on her name. And finally, you have a Gamecock team with something to prove. And that something to prove is it's almost tournament time. It's almost time to turn up. It's almost time to get the bubbles out. It's almost time for net cutting. It's almost time to show the public that this is not an individual type situation. This is about team basketball. And the last time I checked, the Gamecocks is the best team on this planet. South Carolina, different day, same mission. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so you can continue to get this gospel of Gamecocks every single day. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you are now rocking with the best. And since you're rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, J-Rock did this beat.